Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV and the Super Fan Debate Show. It's the big one. We've done a few of these. I've enjoyed hosting these, but none have had as much riding on it as this game right now. It's Arsenal, it's Man City. Let's welcome the guests first. Let's welcome Daps and Steve. Welcome.
Champions section.
It is the champions section.
For now.
Champions section. You addressed it wrong.
Sorry,
For now.
Apologies.
No comment.
Apologies. And the challengers to the champions. It's Robbie. And it's Mr. Lee Judges.
Thank you.
Welcome. Well, do you know what? I can't actually remember a super fan debate that we've done on this channel between Arsenal and Man City. It's been a while since we've actually been anywhere near competitive.
Yeah, it's not normally nothing to debate, is it?
No, yeah, here you go. You have your starting 11 on that, and you're probably going to take 3 points. But there is plenty to debate. We're going to go into that in a second. But first of all, today's super fan debate is brought to you by the PRLY app. It's a great new video conversation app. Go check it out. Here's Robbie with everything you need to know.
PRLY is a great new video conversation app where you get to engage in healthy football debate with friends, influencers, fellow football fans, and it's in a safe and respectful environment. It's easy to use. Just select the camera icon in the bottom right and invite anyone who follows you to a parlay. So download the PRLY app from the iOS App Store, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description to watch the debate and get involved in PRLY.
There you have it. Make sure you scan the QR code or click the link in the description below to download the PRLY app now. Now let's just remind ourselves of the state of play, because the first question is, who's winning it? If Arsenal win, 6 points clear, game in hand. Man City win, they go above Arsenal for the first time in a long time. A draw, maybe Man United fans will be watching this happy. So, let's go into it. And of course, I'm going to be polite, as they are the guests. They are the champion guests, they've reminded us.
Retaining champions.
Who's winning it?
We're
This
winning
game.
it. We have to win it. We have to win it.
Yeah, I think
Do you have to win it?
We have to win it. Yeah, we do.
this season's been a bit disjointed for us. You know what I mean? We're not as ruthless as we have been. You know, we go on these long runs. They're not happening. We seem to take 2 or 3 steps forward and then a couple of steps back. Big win at the weekend. Tees us up nice for this game on the back of a defeat to Tottenham. So just as we think we're getting somewhere, something always knocks us back. But if we want to win the title, we've got to come and win at Arsenal. You know what I mean? The season Arsenal have had is fantastic up to now. You know, I always said, let's just keep on the coattails. If we can keep on the coattails to the business end of the season, that's when Man City traditionally, we kick into gear and we put a bit of pressure on them. And at the minute, the pressure's mounting on you boys, and it's looking like it's telling.
Yeah,
That's the key. Yeah, do you know what? If we go back to the FA Cup game, at that point I said Arsenal and City, because I think you had a week to your next game, we had 8 days. And I said, we both need to put our biggest teams out there for a particular reason. Now, one reason was we needed to get momentum, right? We needed to put our best team out there because at that point, we needed some momentum behind us. For you boys, I felt it was that how you have had an amazing season. You've been the best team in the Premier League this season by a mile. But your record against Manchester City in the Premier League is very bad, right? Over the last 5-6 years. So, for me, it was a case of, yeah, you're in amazing form. You've cleared every single hurdle that has been put in front of you. And I can go back to first game of the season, Palace away, evening kickoff. That was a hurdle. After you lost to Man United to bounce back 3-0 at Brentford, that was a hurdle. Coming back from the World Cup without Jesus, that was a hurdle. Everyone's been cleared. The one hurdle I felt you needed as a group of players to overcome was Manchester City. Now, I get it was the FA Cup, but for me, that was Arteta's chance to play his best 11 at the Etihad, beat City, and go, right, there we go. Mentality-wise, we've overcome every single hurdle. If you would have done that, I think you would have gone on and beat Everton. I think you would have gone on and beat, who was it the weekend? Brentford, right? And I just feel that was a missed opportunity that has now allowed, Arteta's almost invited this pressure onto you going into this game now where it's like, look, you have been better than us this season, but it's going to be in the back of your mind, some of your players' minds now that, again, we haven't beat City and now they're coming to our gaff knowing that we've not won our last 3 games. So I think at the moment, it's come at the best time for Man City this season, and probably, in fairness, the worst time for Arsenal.
Interesting. What do you
I
make of
don't
that?
know,
The
man.
FA
I think
Cup
you're
tie?
making a bit too much of that. To me, when we played, we made 7 changes, and I think we still, we made a great account of ourselves, and that was a very, very close game. Well, I thought we dominated the first half. You were better in the second half. That just turned on it was a good goal by Ake, but there was nothing in that game.
Robbie, a bit like last season. Last season at your gaff, there was nothing in it. You were great, but you lost. What happened? Both times, you were great.
Yeah, well, I think this time's going to be different. You know what I mean? Because I feel that, like you said, we passed a lot of tests, right?
But not the City test yet.
Well, that's what's coming on Wednesday, right? And we passed a lot of tests. We beaten Man United at home. We beaten Liverpool at home. We beaten, literally everybody at home. You know what I mean? We have been very, very strong at home. And I think, I think...
The other day.
Huh?
Not literally 2 days ago. No.
Yeah, not 2 days. We didn't lose to Brentford.
No, but you didn't win either.
Yeah, nor did you. When you played Brentford, they...
No, but you were just saying how good you were at home. So I'm just saying, 2 days ago, you weren't so good at home. No, you said you won every game at home.
I didn't. I said we passed all our tests at home, right? We'll
VAR that one.
We're unbeaten at home. Well, that's the only reason we didn't win that game was VAR. You come under a lot of pressure as well in that game. You know what I mean? Because remember, the last time you come to the capital, you got turned over as well. It's not been the same City that we've seen over the years.
No,
it is a City that can be got at. The same team that we drew with on the weekends, they went to the Etihad and took you apart. So, listen, Man City is still a great team. We know that. Obviously, it's going to be a massive test for us. I feel there's pressure on both teams.
Yeah.
Because like James said at the start of the show, if we win, you really just start looking at it and saying there's a big advantage for Arsenal. I mean, 6 points ahead with a game in hand. That game in hand's against Everton at home, which you can't, you can't say definitely, but at home I'd fancy us beating Everton, right? That would put us 9 points ahead. So, but obviously if we lose, yes, you go top of the league, although we still have a game in hand. So, and then, the pressure might start coming on you guys again. People might start talking about all the off-field stuff that's been going on with you guys. And
they're already talking on it, Robbie, don't worry. They're definitely already talking on it.
You know what I mean? So I feel this game is like equal in all aspects, equal in pressure on both teams, equal in... It's just an even game. It really is an even game.
But let me go to Lee, because we did Forever Arsenal, we've got our predictions out there, and we're all feeling confident as Arsenal fans, but are we jumping the gun a bit? Because I know we've had a great season, but we're only halfway through. And, Daps, very humbly said Arsenal have been the best team this season. But, if City are outstanding for the second half of the season, that's going to outweigh it. There's still a long way to go. So are we sort of too early to be sort of going, yeah, Man City, the champions, can rock up and we're just going to do the job and get the 3 points?
No, I think it's a game where, listen, this is the game for us Arsenal fans. Let's embrace it. Look forward to it. We haven't had a game like this against Man City. Like last season's Man City game was we've done well, but it didn't really mean nothing whether we won or lost. There's something on this game, and for me as an Arsenal fan, I'm really looking forward to it. Couple of things on it since let's go back to when the World Cup finished. 2 points in front. We're now 2 months down the line after that. We're 3 points in front. So there's, I don't think with a game in hand, we've had a little bit of a poor run, but our performances leading up to that can allow us to have a little blip. You know what I mean? Like Man City can't have a blip, nor can a lot of other teams now. So we're in a good position. I think this is a massive game for Arsenal to win this game because we're at home, and that's the thing. And I think with the 2 games that we've not won at home, Newcastle and Brentford, Manchester City are not going to play like that. Manchester City will come and give it a go, and I think that will suit us and go toe to toe with them, And I do think that because of that, I feel a little bit more confident that we can beat Manchester City than not. Great point made, I think, because I'll go back to that Everton game. When we lost to Everton, a fan said to me, this is because we didn't play the proper team against Man City with momentum. I think it was maybe not. We all said about resting it and all that, like, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing, like, you know. Will it have a bearing on Wednesday? I'll let you know when the game finishes.
Do you know what, as well? And one thing I will say, this is with Arteta. Arteta is fairly new to managing. When he made the substitutions against Man United, the game that you lost, right? That was naive a little bit. He made a load of changes very quickly, and I said he won't do that again, right? We have to remember this is the first time that Arteta is managing in a title race. So like that, he probably did think, do you know what, this is the right game to rest players. So I get it, but momentum is a massive, massive thing. And I honestly
I think you're putting too much on it because, you know,
well, Lee can't agree. Lee agreed.
You lost the week before. I think a week's a long time, in football. The week before, right, after you guys lost to Tottenham, it was all doom and gloom. You know what I mean? City probably out of it, first stuff like that. And then after 1 week, we drop points by drawing a game and you win, and all of a sudden...
Since the City game, you haven't won. Okay?
Sorry?
Since the City game, you haven't won.
We haven't.
So your momentum has dropped.
Yes, but I just think, you've got to remember, there's a little bit more to it. Like, the Everton game was very disappointing that we lost that game. But we did come up and get that classic new manager bounce situation. And then the Brentford game, they're a very good side. They're a very good side. They also beat you. And I also look at it and say that both those two teams, I agree with what Lee's saying here, the way they play, the two of them, you ain't going to play like that. You're not going to not play every ball out from the back. Which those two teams, they never play out from the back. They direct, they're long. It's into Ivan Toney or into Calvert-Lewin. They're looking for flicks and so. You guys ain't going to play like that.
No.
I think how you guys play will suit us more. It's a weird thing to say, because obviously you're a way better team than those two teams. But it will suit us more because you're going to come and play. Yeah. And teams that have come to play against us at the Emirates, we've done well against.
Do you know the FA Cup game? What I took from that, I thought Arsenal focused on stopping us playing. I thought they pressed Rodri out of midfield. They stopped Grealish and the wingers getting the ball. But in doing that, which they did really well, by the way, but in doing that, stop yourselves playing. Because you only had 2 shots on goal. It wasn't like, you hammered us. And then we had probably the same amount of shots on goal and took our advantage. So I thought that what Arteta tried to do is come up with a plan in his head how to stop City's key threats. And then every time Rodri received the ball, he was right up against him. Grealish usually gets time to bring the ball down and start to run with it. They were right up against him, doubling up on it. And I thought, they've done well, Arsenal, there, that first half. They've stopped us playing, but for me, they also stopped themselves playing. I'm thinking, you're at the Emirates now. I can understand Arteta doing that at the Etihad, but I'm expecting you to throw the kitchen sink at us. And I think all City fans are, but I think a lot of people underestimate us, City. But when the chips are down, we used to get beat off Liverpool. We've won 4 out of 5 titles. We get beat off Liverpool every season. These aren't the games that decide the title. The games that decide the title are your Brentfords, the teams that come and think, we're at Arsenal here, they're on form, let's dig in, let's dig deep, the time wasting and all that. That's when the players' head goes, because the players sometimes get a little bit complacent in a title run. Some of them do, have seen it, and they think, we'll beat Crystal Palace at home. Bang, next minute you've lost 2-1, and then you have to pick them up. So what's the sign is, if Arteta can get the boys going for this, if he can't get them going for this, you're not going to win the league, because this is the one, innit? Man City, 4 out of 5, no excuses. I think City's been a wounded animal the last few weeks. That Tottenham game was a disgrace. I'm there watching it, I'm thinking, this isn't Man City. It's too slow, we're having 60, 70 passes on the edge of the box. We've got one of the best strikers in the world stood in the middle, no one's putting it in. But what I noticed that weekend against Villa is he changed it. Ruben Diaz came in, Emily Laporte didn't play against you. We looked like a team, we were zipping it about, bit of pace. Haaland was getting round the back, they were looking for that through ball. It seems to be beginning of the season has now come at the right time. And like what Daps says.
Poor Villa though, weren't they?
Yeah, they were poor. They were poor, but the same thing, because we got them on the back foot, they couldn't go gun-go because they get tore apart. But I don't know, we've just got to go. We've got to go there, play our game, and just do what we do. And when you've got him up front, anything can happen. He could not touch the ball for 22, 23 minutes, and then touch it once, it's in. He can score a hat-trick in 12 minutes with 3 touches. It's a totally different animal that we are this season. We're not the same, but we're still dangerous.
The thing is, I do want to ask, because we're doing a show, Matisse and I, on Talking Tactics on DR Sports, and it was really interesting looking at Man City's shape. It was a back three essentially with no wing backs. He literally went, I don't want any more of you defending, that's fine. And he had Bernardo next to Rodri. Now that's great. When you have the ball, that's going to be brilliant. Now are Man City and Guardiola going to take that to the Emirates and go, we back ourselves, we're the champions?
He's going to play a back four. Nathan Ake did really well against Saka.
He did, so you think he'll come back in?
Ake's definitely playing against Saka. Kyle Walker will play on the side. If it's the back four of Ake, Laporte, Ruben Diaz, Kyle Walker, that's what we as City fans have been crying out for all season. Stop messing about. Rico Lewis is 18. Stop putting him in the midfield. He got caught at Tottenham. Rodri tried to knock it in fast. He got knocked off the ball, mistake, goal. And that's fine margins now. We need to stop messing about. We need to get our settled team down and start getting a bit of rhythm amongst the first players.
Do you know what it is, right? The way we've been playing this season, and with the, Walker's out for a while, so we're playing Akanji or Stones at right, Akanji, Stones or Rico Lewis right back. Left it was Ake, Cancelo. Pep's inverting them into midfield because Pep likes to have that overloading midfield. Thank you. Right, and with Haaland, not a false nine, we're losing a man in midfield. So Pep is doing everything to try and get that extra midfielder. Now that's fine when you have Diaz and Laporte, or Diaz and Stones, two trusted centre-backs. All season we haven't had that, and that's been the issue, that we haven't been good enough with our two centre-backs, right? For example, you take Saliba out and put Holding in, right? That changes everything going forward, because your whole team going forward does not play with the same confidence, knowing that at the back, if something goes wrong, or knowing you've got Walker, that insurance that he will get back. And I think that is the key. The Tottenham game, I think that's the biggest frustration from every single one of us there.
Diaz opens his mouth, he's a leader. We've lacked that. We've been getting bullied off teams. Tottenham were kicking 10 tons out of Rico Lewis. Not one player went over. That's not Man City. We've always been a quality team, but if we needed to mix it, Fernandinho, things like that, we could mix it. I just think at the minute, with Ruben coming back at weekend, it just give us all a lift.
Yesterday on Sky, they actually, before we scored the first goal from the corner, they said Diaz, Laporte, Rodri, they'll look up for this, the corner, right? And it took me back to Vinny, Lescott, Yaya, Fernandinho on corners, that they'd be there, whether it be defending a corner or attacking a corner. We haven't had that all season. Like three players that are going to out-jump everyone because they want it more. And it's the first time, and we scored from the corner. It's like, it's not coincidence, and we've been seeing it. It's just Pep sometimes defensively maybe doesn't see what we see.
No.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that they're saying, and it gives me a little bit of confidence when you see Man City fans talking like that. You know what I mean? Like not saying, well, they're not rating players that have been playing and whatever. Oh, now you got this player back. But
it looks like he stumbled on it a bit last minute.
Never said that before.
No, because you got to be honest. Last season, I'm walking in here, and if that Man City team from last season's this season, we're 12, 15 points ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But now we're not. It's just stop, start. It's hard to get into it when it's like that.
And from an Arsenal point of view, listening to that, I'm thinking, bring that on, because
you've never got a better chance of winning the league than this season, in my opinion.
And I think there is that with Messi. You go on about cup competitions, about Arsenal and all that. Well, let's talk about cup competitions. Southampton away. You know what I mean? They were awful that night. Absolutely awful that night. You know what I mean? Now, did they lose momentum in that game? Did they not? I think there's been too many poor performances from a Man City point of view to turn around and go, right, I am wary of them. I'm wary of them because it's Man City and where but when you really look at it in a cold light of day, they've gone to Tottenham and got rolled over by Tottenham. You know what I mean? Now let's be honest with Tottenham. Let's go on to it about that. Arsenal have gone there and won. Liverpool have gone there and won. All the top teams have gone there and won.
We've never scored a goal there.
Manchester City haven't, you know what I mean?
Never scored a goal there.
Maybe it's a little bit of a bogey. But I expected Manchester City, to be honest, last week after to go there.
After we let the door open.
We let the door open to whatever.
Tottenham. That wasn't a good Tottenham that we played.
No, and I honestly thought that I actually said it. I think I said it to you. I think statement win coming up here tomorrow, 3-0. It didn't happen. So when they said, they're doubting the players and all that, I think I'm not doubting any Arsenal player, by the way, at this moment in time. I know our best 11, and I'm confident with that.
I don't think we know our best 11.
And that may be the point at the moment.
Yeah, Robbie, do you share the? I mean, actually, a good point was raised there. Is this Arsenal's best chance to actually win the league? Because
listen, I think
with the drop off of Chelsea and all that.
I hear what you're saying, and
Liverpool are not in it.
I hear what
Chelsea
you're
aren't
saying,
in it.
and I think, I understand what you are right in a way, but also do not underestimate. Don't just think because you lot are not playing as good as you were last season that this is not a very good Arsenal
You deserve
team.
where you.
Because
where you
I feel that this season we've been the best team in the league. Now, obviously, it's getting over the line. I mean, what you say is true. You guys have done it multiple times. You're experiencing doing it. And you are right. When you start to come down to this part of the season now, you're coming up against teams that maybe earlier on in the season you may have brushed them aside, but they're fighting for their lives. They've got, you know what I mean, they put everything on. Like when we played Everton, you know, even the Everton fans after the game are saying, well, we didn't even recognise these. That's the best game that they've played this season. They put everything on the line. So we are going to come up against a lot of that. But I just think in this game, we know what we're going to get with Man City. Man City always play the same way, which is, you know, is the top quality team. But that might kind of benefit us, I feel, rather than playing some of the teams that we played in the last 2 games, where those teams, you know, they take a draw, they're coming to frustrate. I do not think Man City are going to come to do that.
So do you think it's going to be head-to-head?
I think it's going to be a great game.
I think if Arteta lets Arsenal go and doesn't think about what Rodri's doing, don't think about what Kev's doing, don't think about what Grealish doing.
We have to be wary of that.
Yeah, but if you overdo it, you won't beat us because you did it last time and you nullified yourself. Sometimes when you're at home and you're up against a top team, you've got to think, you know what, I've got to play with courage. Guardiola said it on that documentary, you've got to play with courage.
Last year.
Yeah, you've got to play with courage. Last year, I walked round to AFTV and I said to you, that's the best team that's ever played us this season. You pressed us all over the park, you worked hard, you should have won. I also told you about Mikel, didn't I? On camera.
No,
I told
you
them,
did.
and they were going, oh, you're just staying at this, that and the other. I said, no, he's a good coach. I can see from an outside point of view what he was trying to do. And I kept saying to Turkish on the Big Six, it's time. And in football, you don't get time. And you look how many times last season he could have gone, yeah? But just look at that little bit of extra time he got, and bang, look at it now. So he now can do things for Arsenal and experiment, and he's got credit in the bank. Last season he couldn't do that, because if he tried to experiment and you got beat, banged on his neck. Now that is a difference. And I think Arsenal from this season compared to last season, even you guys as fans and everything, you're all galvanised. And when you look at a team that's going for a title, you need everybody galvanised. And this season we haven't been that until recent events. And on yesterday, the whole club, from the coach welcoming to the inside to everything, was different. Everyone was like,
do you think that's because of what's happening? There's been a galvanisation?
I think that could be the best thing that could have happened this season. The outcry from everybody else coming at us, it gives us this siege mentality, and then Pep Guardiola's press conference to come out from a manager when he could have very easily said, no comment, it's to do with the owners. He came out and he said, I've never been more determined to be at this club. I'll be at this club if they're in Division 2. And all us as a fans just went whoosh. Yeah. And yesterday in the stadium, there was a buzz about the place, which I haven't seen this season. And I thought, right, we've got that oomph back. We're going to Arsenal Wednesday. We've got a bit between our teeth. Let's have it. And I think we're going to go there and we're having it.
Well, look, for the board to come out and say, you know, they're innocent and they're going to fight it and they welcome it and all of that. Look, we know the board is going to say that, right? We needed our leader. We needed Pep, because Pep doesn't need Pep. You've seen
Pep doesn't
Pep
have to
in press
say
conferences.
that.
He will happily dodge questions all day long. He does it most press conferences. For him to come out the way he did, that was like, right, okay, cool. That's not the board.
He just gave everyone a lift. People coming up to me yesterday going, how good was Pep? You know, we needed that, you know what I mean? Because we're getting it in. Yeah, listen, it's teed up nice, and then you're on the back of a couple of results where you're thinking, you know, a few weeks ago, you guys were top of the world, and it was like this Arsenal train was ploughing on, and there was no end to it. You thought, no one's stopping him. And then that Everton result, you think, yeah, it's a freak. And then Brentford, and then you think, shit, Man City. So it's giving us a little think like, right, we might have caught him here on the right time. You guys are looking at it thinking, I want a reaction. Mikel's got to get a reaction. You're going to win the league, you need a reaction. You've got to turn up. It's going to be Man City, Arsenal. You've just did the point scenario, what it could be. There's no better scenario. These are the games you enjoy. It could be a mid-table crap game where none of us are even asked, but it's not. We're here now, and we're confident on our side, thinking, let's have it. And you should be right to confident.
Do you know what? And that's the thing, that you lot saw and I liked how Lee said he was looking forward to it, because I know you lot loved the fact of the most recent game against Man United, that it felt like the olden days, right? Well, no, because you weren't facing the champions. You weren't facing the retaining champions. This weekend, you're facing the retaining champions, right? So you've done that history with Man United. You're facing us now, which have got more points than Man United ever got. We're retaining, right? So this is something you should look forward to.
Exactly that. Exactly.
You should look forward to it.
Is anyone else feeling pumped? I'm
It might be
not
the
ready for this game to start.
It might be their last one. I'm only joking.
This is the great thing. Like, I've moaned for so many years, right, and been frustrated for so many years because Arsenal have not been what is going to happen on Wednesday night. For me, Wednesday night is what I've moaned about for so many years with Arsene Wenger and Emery, and even Arteta's early days, moaning because I want what's coming on Wednesday, a game that means something, and if we win that game, it's going to mean a lot more.
And also, you know what? One of my favourite games last season, and one of the games I enjoyed the most, and people think it's weird because we actually lost, was to you guys. I remember like a lot of City fans were sort of saying, "Oh, you lot were celebrating and you lost." I think what you guys didn't understand at the time was like that was like the first time that we'd gone toe to toe with you.
Yeah.
That was a proper game, and I truly believe if we hadn't gone down to 10 men, I'm not saying we would have won the game, but I don't think we'd have lost the game.
But don't you think that just shown your naivety last year a little bit? I don't think you're like that
experience,
now. Because everyone got caught up in the moment. Next minute, bang, there's a sending off. Jesus spun him there, knew what he was doing, bang, spins in, bang, he's off. City's got a little opening, we're in, we took it last minute. But you played us off the park.
Yeah, and this season, one of the things I've liked is like we've learnt from those three. We haven't had no sending offs this season.
Yeah, Gabriel's improved a lot.
We've had players like
Xhaka
we've
as
had
well.
players like Granit Xhaka, like their temperament, you see, it's different. So I'm absolutely buzzing for the game. I mean, it is like you said, it's now a massive game. You guys are the champions, and if we want to be champions, and if we're gonna become champions, we have to try and get through teams like you.
Go on, Lee. Last point.
Now,
to wrap up
one
the show.
thing which is a fit, and I know this might sound silly to everybody. If we'd have beaten Brentford, I'm probably going up more over the top. Even though I'm really looking forward, there is a cautious side to me because I know that we're not probably, and I feel like that's going to contain my.
There's something about, look, not for 1 second saying that it's good that we didn't win those two games before,
I'm not saying that.
For the neutral, for the occasion, there's something about the fact that had we beaten Brentford or even Everton, actually City beating us, we'd still go, well, there's still a bit of a gap. The fact that it's so wonderfully poised, probably better than any script could have written it, where City could actually go back above. But Arsenal could gain a lead no one thought they'd have. And then a draw, then it's kind of all to play for. And then there's still another game to come. We're in the middle of February and there's one more after this. Yeah. So we'll be back doing it all
this is
again.
the whole thing, that this is, right, early January, people, it's a title race, it's halfway. This is a title race, where it isn't one weekend, like, I'm already hearing this weekend, this game will decide everything. No, it won't. This is the whole thing. Everton, that result. Spurs with us. We're both, this roller coaster. It's 38
last
games.
season, the last 10 games, it made me physically ill because you cannot even lose a game. And if you draw the game, you're ill. And me and Daps, we flew to Atletico Madrid, the Battle of Madrid we called it. We got butchered off the park, kicked to shit, and then we got through. Then we flew back to the FA Cup, to Wembley, FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool. He had to change the team because we had Real Madrid coming up. We got beat again. Then we flew out to Madrid, and then everything just came thick and fast. And it was like, I remember like Wolves on a Wednesday night, and I'm thinking, Wolves, and we go and put 5 past them, and then West Ham, second to last game of the season, we're 2-0 down at half time, we're 2-2, and then the last game of the season to win the league, we're 2-0 down again, but you don't give up because of West Ham the week before, you win it 3-2, and then the season we had to win the league, we had to go 14 games and win every single one. We're 0-0 at home against Leicester. We're never scoring in a million years, and Vincent Kompany hits one from 40 yards, it goes in the top corner. That's when you know shit's happening. That's when you know it's in the stars. And the last 10 games for Arsenal is when that shit starts to happen, and you think, you know what, this is what we're having.
Are you ready for it?
No, that's what. Do you know what? I'm loving those stories. I'm loving that.
It's good, man.
Because that is what we used to have back in the day, the same as that. And I'm going to say I bloody well missed it. I want that. I want that excitement.
Well, hopefully it's back. So go on, the score predictions.
I love it. That's what I want. That is what I want.
That's what you want.
I'm going 1-0 City.
1-0 City, Daps?
This is against everything I do right now.
You don't like doing predictions, you see.
Quickly throw in, who needs it more? Just quickly, who needs to win more as well?
Us.
City
Yeah,
need it
I
more.
think we need it more.
I think if we can
Yeah,
get
we
to
have
the top, we've not been there, and it's like, you can smell a bit of blood
Psychological
then.
thing,
You can
mate.
smell a little bit of
It's,
blood then.
we need it more because as well, like last week you opened the door to us and we didn't take advantage. We've got very lucky that you opened the door again. with
Yeah,
the
the
result
old
yesterday.
City last
we
week would have been
can't
on it,
keep
but
not
now-
taking advantage. We have to take advantage of the fact you opened the door. Otherwise, you lot are just going to go, do you know what, we've given them chances, they're not taking it, we're just going to run away
So
with
go
it.
on, what's your prediction?
Oh, I thought I was getting away with
I
it
know
there.
you do that.
Just go, no comment, no comment.
I'll do it. I think it's going to be 2-1 City.
I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. I think it's going to be a great game, close game. I think we need it more because momentum-wise, if we're going to win this title, we need to get the momentum back. And I think that's the sort of win that would give us so much momentum and so much belief. So, and I think we're going to turn up on Wednesday. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
Lee?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2. So I wasn't allowed to do it on the Forever today, but I need the points, so I've gone 3-2. But I think that 2-1, and I'm with Robbie on this. I think it's more important for us to win this game because I think they're used to not going win. I think we need a cushion. I still think that there's a poor performance in Arsenal and the nerves and everything like that. If we can get it to 6 and then eventually get it to 9, I think that would be fantastic. So I think we have to win this game. We're at home as well. I'll bite your hand off for a draw up there later on in April, but I think we need to win this one. 2-1 to the Arsenal.
Well, the fans are back in their teams, and fair enough. This has been a very lovely Superfan debate, actually. If anything, quite inspiring. I think we've all just got quite excited about it. I don't know if the next episode will be, because it is the combined 11. So we'll do that in a little bit. A big thanks to everyone who's joined. Remember that this has been brought to you by PRLY. It's a brilliant way to have safe and exciting football chats with your friends. Scan the QR code in the link in the description below to download the app now. Big thanks to everyone who's joined us. Big thanks to Lee and Robbie. Been fantastic. Big thanks to Steve and Daps. And very quickly, just let everyone know where they can find you as well.
Yeah, you can find me on Never a Foul YouTube channel.
At Big Steve MCFC, Instagram and YouTube.
There we go. Catch you on the next one.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.